Hey everyone, welcome to this mini deep dive. And today we're diving into the world of test-driven development experts. If you're out there and trying to hire one, it can be a real
Oh,
struggle.
yeah.
So we're going to try to give you some information to cut
Mhm.
through the noise and um, and make a smart hire. Now, if
Mm.
you are tired of the developer search and you just want to get it done, you can always head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try out their 5 questions tool. It's a fantastic resource. But let's get back to this TTD thing. So, what is test-driven development?
Well, it's this development approach where you write tests for your code before you even write the code itself.
Okay.
So it sounds a little counterintuitive,
Yeah, it
but
does.
it's a really powerful technique, especially when software reliability is super important, like in fintech.
Right. So, like, you're building a fintech app that's handling people's money.
hmm
You don't want any surprises there.
Absolutely. And, you can really see the results. There was this fintech startup using TDD to build a secure payment processing system. And get this, they had zero security breaches in their first year.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, but let's get down to it. What does a TDD expert actually do that's different from a regular developer?
A TDD expert is constantly writing tests even before they write a single line of code. It's like creating a blueprint to make sure the software works exactly how you planned, and then they're constantly refactoring or refining the code.
Refactoring. Can you unpack that a bit more for us?
Sure, so imagine your code is like a house. Refactoring isn't just repainting, it's more like optimizing the plumbing or the electrical systems to make the house run better. Without changing how the house looks, it leads to cleaner and easier to maintain code.
That's a great analogy. So, TDD sounds really promising, but let's get practical. Why should I, as someone looking to hire, care about TDD expertise?
That's a great question.
Is it worth the investment?
Absolutely. TDD leads to way fewer bugs, which means less downtime for your systems, easier maintenance, and potentially you get your product to market faster. It's like having a safety net.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Now let's talk money. What kind of salary can I expect to pay a TDD expert?
Well, salaries vary a lot, of course. It depends on things like location and the developer's tech stack. In the US, you're probably looking at a range between $70,000 and $130,000 per year. For a more accurate estimate, you can check out resources like theperfectdeveloper.com. They have a lot of information on things like this.
Yeah, so location plays a big role,
Oh,
like
no.
San Francisco versus somewhere with a lower cost of living.
Exactly. And the developer's specific tech stack matters too. Some languages are in higher demand, which can drive up salaries. Things like Java, Python, and JavaScript.
Okay, that makes sense. What about different hiring models, like full-time, part-time, in-house outsourcing?
Hmm.
What are my options there?
Well, you've got choices. Full-time in-house gives you that direct collaboration, but it's going to cost more. Part-time is great if you only need TDD for a specific project. And outsourcing can be a cost-effective way to tap into a global talent pool.
That's a lot to consider. Let's move on to the hiring process itself. What skills should I be looking for on a TDD developer's resume, and how do I know if they're the real deal?
Well, on the technical side, you want to see that they have a strong understanding of testing frameworks. For example, if they're working with Java, they should know JUnit like the back of their hand. And for C Sharp, it's all about tone it. It's about knowing the right tools for the job.
Right.
Yeah. They should also have some experience with CI/CD, which stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment. It's basically a set of practices that automate the development process. That way, code changes are integrated and deployed quickly and reliably. Tools like Jenkins or Circle CI are popular for that.
So it's not just writing tests, but making sure they're part of the entire development workflow.
Exactly. And of course, version control is super important too. Git is the standard these days. And any good developer should be comfortable using it for collaborating and managing code. And you want someone with a good grasp of agile methodologies because TDD and agile go hand in hand.
Gotcha. What about those soft skills, communication and all that?
Yeah. Those are essential too. Like communication is key. They need to be able to explain their testing strategies and work well with the rest of the team. And even explain complex technical concepts to people who aren't technical.
Right, because you have to bridge that gap between the tech side and the business side.
Exactly. And problem solving is a big one. Even with TDD, you're going to run into issues. You want someone who can think critically, break down problems, and find those solutions. It's about more than just knowing the tools, it's about knowing how to use them.
Okay, so we've talked about what TDD is and what these TDD experts actually do. Now, how do you find and actually hire these people?
Well, the good news is there are resources like theperfectdeveloper.com that can help you. They have this great tool called 5 questions that can help figure out exactly what you need. And it can even connect you with some potential candidates who might be a good fit.
So it's like a matchmaking service for developers,
Yeah.
but it's specifically for TDD experts.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And once you've got some promising candidates, don't just stick with the same old interview questions.
What kind of questions should I be asking to really get a sense of their TDD skills?
You want to go beyond just checking off boxes. Ask them about their passion for TDD. Why do they like it so much? What excites them about it? You're looking for genuine enthusiasm.
Yeah, get a sense of what drives them.
Dive into their experience with testing frameworks, CI/CD tools, agile practices. Don't just ask if they've used something, ask about a tough situation they faced and how they use that specific tool or method to overcome it. You want to see how they think, how they approach a problem, how they handle pressure.
So you want to hear real-world examples.
Exactly. And here's a good one. Ask them about a time they had to refactor someone else's code. Refactoring is a big part of TDD, and it often means working with code that wasn't originally written with TDD in mind. This question can tell you about their technical skills and their people skills, because it usually requires collaboration and, not stepping on anyone's toes.
That's a great question.
And don't forget, even if you're not a developer yourself, understanding the basics of TDD can be really valuable. It can help you communicate better with your developers, understand their decisions, and appreciate their hard work. You can be a more involved participant in the whole development process.
So even if I can't write code myself,
Mm.
I can still understand TDD and contribute to the project.
Absolutely. And who knows, you might even get inspired to learn some coding yourself.
Mhm.
But even if you don't, understanding TDD can help you make better decisions, build better products, and ultimately be more successful.
Okay, so to sum up this part of our deep dive, finding and hiring a TDD expert is an investment that's worth it. It's about knowing the value they bring, being prepared to ask the right questions, and having the resources to help streamline the process, like theperfectdeveloper.com and their 5 questions tool.
Exactly.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into test-driven development experts. We talked about what TDD is, why it matters, how to find these experts. But I want to leave you with something to really chew on.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears.
So you know now that we've seen the impact of TDD on software quality, especially for those really important mission-critical projects. How can you use those same principles in your own work, even if you're not a developer?
Ah, I see what you're getting at. It's about taking that TDD mindset and using it in other areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it, planning, testing, iterating, refining. You can apply those ideas to project management, marketing campaigns, even personal goals. It's all about breaking things down into smaller steps that you can test and building in those feedback loops to stay on track.
Like a more structured, more strategic approach to just about anything.
Exactly. This is a shift in how you think. You start to really value clarity, precision, and always improving.
That's really powerful. It just goes to show how valuable that TDD perspective can be.
And not just in software development.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up this mini deep dive, remember finding the right TDD expert doesn't have to be a nightmare. Resources like theperfectdeveloper.com and their 5 questions tool can make the whole process a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of TDD expertise. We hope you feel ready to go out there and build a truly amazing development team. And don't forget to check out theperfectdeveloper.com and give their 5 questions tool a try. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep building awesome things.